Today, Nick came to the gym I train at, Absolute Recomp. We're gonna train back and arms today. I'm gonna show him the machines that I have here that I'm used to using, that he's not used to using, and I'm gonna make sure he watches my technique and making sure I'm getting the most of every rep.
I'm super excited to just get in another gym. I feel like I live at Destination Dallas. I love Destination, but it's nice to get out of your normal environment. Sorry, I sound like Steve-O.
And truth be told, the reason why his voice is gone is we're pulling some bong hits in the parking lot. Because that's like generally the thing to do these days, to get blasting high before you train. Dude, you know what's fucked up? You ever do cold showers? They're horrible, but I was always against them. And then I listened to the last Joe Rogan episode, a couple of them back. So dude, I get right out of bed. I turn the shower in cold and I get directly under it. And at first what happens is I can't breathe. It goes,
You start panicking. Yeah.
and then I get wicked alert, super alert, like I had a shot of caffeine.
I want to buy one of those ice plunges, like the baths you can have at your place.
But the morning time, you're like wide awake, and at nighttime, take a hot ass shower and block out. I have way better connection on my right side, my left side. I can't figure it out because
I'm gonna have you try something after this.
because my right shoulder is the fucked up shoulder.
So you can't feel this as well?
No, this side's better, 100 times better.
Weird.
We're like,
So the one thing that I was watching while you're doing that, when you're getting to the bottom, you start to pull here. What I want you to try, you're pulling this way. Think about trying to keep your elbow away from your shoulder. So pushing it away from you and see if that changes anything. You fucking short fuck over here. Watch here. Do you see my trap moving at all?
I hate leaning. You like leaning?
So it's not about the lean, it's about where my elbow's going. Watch my trap.
Yeah, it doesn't move.
But do you see what I'm doing with my elbow?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So like you're coming here versus coming here.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Keep that down, then think about pushing that elbow forward. Boom. I bet you feel your lat more down here, don't you?
This feels more like the other side now.
It looks more like the other side now. And you're not like pulling into retraction. That's why everyone has this and no one has this. The tendency is to offload into traps because they can just do a lot more work. Face was gonna pop. I've been with Chris for since 2019. Sometime in 2019, it's 2023, so fucking 3.5 years. The thing I always tell people when we're trying to do a lat movement, it's not that we don't want this to move at all. It's that we want to limit how much we're powering from the traps. So we want to push into the lat, make the lat do the job, instead of allowing our scapula to move, or our traps to pull things, because they're a lot stronger. It's a smaller muscle, it doesn't have to travel as much distance, whereas the lat spans a big distance and does a lot of stuff. Involved in like a group that went through the Prescript thing with the muscle doc.
Yeah.
Jordan Shallow. So they have a community group where like there's a bunch of trainers that all come together. Within there's always discussions about like mind-muscle connection doesn't necessarily mean muscle growth. But I literally just responded today and go, I get that for a general population person or someone who's just like trying to build an adequate physique. But when we look at a bodybuilder trying to get on stage, I think mind-muscle connection, especially with hamstrings, glutes, and back, means the world.
But this is the other thing, right? This is the other thing I typically make the argument about that. If you are trying to build your upper chest, and it's a lagging body part, and you don't have connection, then that's the problem. I understand their broad statement,
right?
But when it comes to bringing up a weak body part, if the connection's not there, that's the problem.
Right. A ton of people promoting that a movement pattern like this doesn't hit lats. I understand the argument, but your lat is still going to work here. Zero chance that it doesn't work while we're doing that. Also put it in a context where people arch their back excessively and then they sway the weight down like this. Right. See how much he's opening around that pad. He's not dumping over the top, he's opening around. The thing with chest supported stuff that is crucial when it comes to building a big physique or a big back to me is like that opening, stretching, right? If we stay in this like real choppy thing, like we're not getting that full range of motion. The thing that's helped me here execution-wise is like a lot of times when I'm curling, I'll start just thinking about pulling up versus actually arcing with the machine. Yeah. Right? Because the machine curls, like it arcs, right? So it moves in an arc. If we move with it, where I'm pushing my hand away and up, I get so much more bicep out of it. And I try, obviously. Yeah. People doing this. Again, it comes back to using too much weight because that shoulder raising changes how much this has to move. This going back and forth, we're never actually stretching the bicep and contracting. We're moving the shoulder and not getting that fully stretched position. So this is the first time me and Tuttle have been able to get together in person to train. We've hung out a few times and gone to eat and shoot guns, but yeah, ate burgers and shotguns, we haven't trained. He's been my coach for the last 3.5 years, and in that process of me maturing as an athlete and a coach, he's been a wealth of knowledge as far as like helping me push forward as my own individual. You know, it's funny that I want to mention that, and this I think is a problem in the industry a lot, I have more experience than Nick, but I have humility. I listen to Nick. So today going to the gym, I never turn anybody off. No matter how many years they've been training, I like to listen. And I think that's really important. It's like you can never stop learning. And that outside of just being a coach and seeing him progress as an athlete, I like to see people progress as a person. And this dude has changed so much from the very first time in North Carolina all the way to coming here and where we are now. It's been fucking legit. Like I said, like having someone like Chris who is very down to earth and not full of himself, because when we look at the coaching space or just bodybuilding in general, people who are already very muscular tend to have an ego. And then you add steroids on top of that, that ego tends to inflate, exacerbate, you know? Chris won't say this about himself, but like Chris has a lot of accolades. He's a registered dietitian. He was a 212 pro. He was an animal athlete. Like there's so many aspects to Chris and his knowledge base is so deep. He could walk in here acting like his shit doesn't stink, but he doesn't.
One of my favorite things to say is this. For one, the second you think you know something, you stop learning. And for two, anybody who knows a lot, they basically have experience in the matter. They're not experts.
Right.
Because anybody expert in the tippity top of their field always has the ability to look at multiple perspectives. It's usually the people on the way up who tend to get a little bit of information and they think they know everything. And as soon as they start to work their way up, then they're like, shit, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn, and there's so much more and more.
It's funny, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know fucking shit.
Nope.
I have very successfully gotten myself around some incredibly intelligent people in the bodybuilding space. It's like, fuck, you hear them speak and it's like smart stuff just falls out while they're talking. I can take what they're saying and turn it into something that everyone can understand. Just because someone can articulate big words and has a very strong command of the English language doesn't necessarily mean that they're smart. The individuals who are the smartest are the ones who know these high-level concepts and know the big words, know what they mean and how to apply them, but then can go to someone who just walked in the gym for the first time and apply it to that person. Because they don't give a fuck about your big words. They just want to know, how do I get bigger? How do I get stronger? How do I get leaner?
Retention of information is not a measure of intelligence. Applying and problem solving is a measure of intelligence.
Anybody can read a book and an online article, but that's enough rambling. See you guys next time.